Actually, there's actually been two fire public records requests, and those have been taken care of. I threw you some pictures here of some of the stuff that we've been doing. As we get things done, I will show you some other pictures as the rooms get completed. Like I said earlier, we're going to try to, we're painting the entire building on the inside, so basically all we have to do is buy the supplies. We're doing the work ourselves and getting that all completed. And then I threw a couple pictures there for the 4848 Vanguard for you guys to review. Going back to Captain Flagg's comment about one of the car accidents where the guy said he was being shot at and chased around. That accident finally ended up and landed in front of Mrs. Green's house. She sent us a thank you letter. We had firefighter James, Dyer, Frederick, and Livesay. They were on the call. They went back the very next day to help her clean up because one of her lines got tossed over and a bunch of stuff from the car accident got thrown in her yard. So they went back and helped her clean it up. She sent me $45 for them to buy lunch. Appreciate for all that they did for her, and send us a nice thank you card for us as well. That is all I have at the moment. Do you have any questions?
No. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it, Gene. You have a question?
No.
Okay. Next, we have Code Enforcement Department.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Keep mine pretty short here. I had 6 new inspections, or I'm sorry, 6 total inspections and 2 new inspections. Ever since the COVID thing has came along, I've not been proactive. I've been pretty much reactive. If I get a complaint, I go take a look and get something out to it if it need be. Then the Infirmary Road project, the owner has till June 30th to be in compliance. He's not in compliance, and the courts are open and taking cases. I'll be sending that one to court at the end of June. And that's all those properties pretty much that Gold LLC owns along Infirmary.
That's scary Infirmary, right? Junkyard Road.
Yes. Just paid in the move to Calumet and set up and all that stuff over there. Grass season has started. I've been printing out all the violations to be posted. I think there was a total of 80-some properties that from last year that we're going to start and cut this year, and that's just from last year till this year. That's all I have. I'd like to thank the trustees and Mr. Wolf for what they've done during the pandemic to help fight the spread of COVID-19 and protect the residents and its employees. And that's all I have if you don't have any questions.
Thank you, Tony. Okay, so next is the Road Department. Mr. Wolf.
Yes, trustees, last meeting in April, you gave me the authority to send out offers to potential employees. 4 offers were sent out. 2 additional offers were held. I'd like to have an executive session shortly after, here at the end tonight to discuss those 2 applications with you. But we've already received 1 signed application back as wanting to come to work here today. We have 2 verbal additional that have said they want to come, but they have to find time to, from their other jobs to come in here. We have 1 in waiting, and then we have the final 2 applications, and as I said, we have to review together. So we're on our way. We do have an orientation date picked out in the last week of May. We'll wait and see, which day that will be, but we will be bringing in all the new employees and going through everything that an employee needs to know from A to Z. And then we're taking a tour of the township, the buildings, and the facilities and the equipment, so the employees aren't blind when they come to work on the first day. June 1st is the target date for our new employees to start. I want to thank you 3. When I started asking you back last year in late December to help me try to figure out what roads to repair, today you took the vote to go and repair many of the roads. And all 3 of you need to be patted on the back for that, because that's pretty quick, that we can turn that around in about a 4-month span with COVID on top of it. And I thank you guys for that situation. Also, I thank you for the vacuum truck vote today. because the MS4 certificate that we have requires for emergency response to a spill. And they recommend, not say it's a requirement, but they recommend highly that you have at least someone that you already have picked out, however you do that, to be able to respond if you have a spill in your MS4 district. So thank you for that as well. We are starting an inventory program for uniforms. There's been different ways they've handled it in the past, but now we are having employees return their clothing to the township except for their boots and their pants. Those are two items that are personalized to themselves. And if we can reuse their equipment or their clothing and equipment, we are laundering it and then having it available to the new employees beyond a first outfit. It may give them a second or a third, even if it's a little stained. So we're going to build our inventory over time. Next thing is I've been working off and on with DPNL and Miami Valley Lighting and the county about that Blue Crest Drive light. I sent an email to all of you asking you to consider what to do with the light. We have determined that the light is a night light that overhangs into Richardson Park. It's not the lights up around the shelter house, the parking lot. That is a separate invoice. Miami Valley Lighting confirmed that it is not a street light and that they went out and took pictures as well and verified. So I have a question on the table for you. Do you want to keep the light on? It costs you about $500 a year, or do you want the light shut off?
$500 a year.
$500, that's what they're charging for that light. And it's just a night light, you know, like you have at your farm there?
Yeah.
It's short arm, and it's not even, because the brush is so high.
I paid $500 for a night light.
Well, that's what we've been, and the township's been paying it for years. And it's not right or wrong, it's just what do you guys want to do from this point on, because it doesn't seem viable to be helping us if it was, you know, so I just need a.
What's the address?
Well, they said it's 249. 249 is 4 houses up from Richardson Park. It's an empty lot. Except the only thing they can tell me is there, and you can see it, there's a what do you call it, transformer in the back. That might be where they run it from. And years ago, that might be how they hooked up lights for a township or a city. I don't know. But they confirmed that that little light that doesn't benefit any homeowner is sitting out there kind of like a lonesome soul. It's helping the crickets in the park. If it was up by the shelter houses where we have the other lights, I would recommend. But this doesn't seem to be. So I just need a yes or no. Do you guys want to turn it on, keep it on, or shut it off?
Trustees, I make a motion to kill the light as described, 249 Blue Crest, and shut it off. And just all in favor, say aye.
I got a question first. Captain Flood, do you see any security issues? Do you know what that light is? Do you see any security issues with that light is?
I'd have to go look at the actual light itself. I know the area, but
It's not in the park though, right? It's not in the.
Okay, the pictures I sent you
Yeah, I
guys,
saw
Blue
that.
Crest is shut off, so you
Yes.
can't get into the park from Blue Crest.
Yeah.
It's got boulders and it's got a thing. So if you went down the road, it'd be on the left,
Yeah.
on a pole facing into, and then brush line where the light does not come back to a homeowner. So it's just an extra light in the park by the old playground equipment.
So when it goes off, how dark does it leave that area? Or is there other lights that are?
There's no other lights in the whole Richardson Park in that area.
Okay. Well, I don't know that, I mean, we don't get frequent calls to that area.
Yes, that's us. Yeah,
So,
I agree with you. Turn it off. Would you order?
All in favor of turning off the lights, say aye.
Aye. We all
That's,
agree.
that's 245 instead of
Is
240.
it 245? I thought it was 249.
Okay.
Okay, second thing is, I sent you all an email as well, just to look at. Miami Valley Lighting is in the process of installing that light at Kennel Lane, finally. Also, they have now, because of COVID-19, they've changed their schedules. Unless something changes, instead of them telling us late 2020 to early 2021 of the LED upgrades in the lighting district, it's going to happen now within midsummer, unless something changes again. So they wanted, Miami Valley Lighting wanted me to tell you that that new installation is going to start. Also, I confirmed they did do you remember you paid for an annual
Inspection.
inspection. and they inspected the lights that are existing, and then there was a list that I sent you. In that list, there was about 15 to 20 fixes that they fixed. So they obviously did have light pole problems or lights out there somewhere. So what you as trustees voted on is help the residents. And that will be an annual, probably to the end of every year instead of how we got started. So I got a letter, and Tracy, you may have gotten it, maybe everybody's gotten it. Carl Keith's office, and Russ Joseph, the treasurer, and the county auditor, Carl Keith. It's a letter dated back on April 29th. They have polled all the communities in Montgomery County and came up with an almost consensus. They're going to defer property tax collection to August 14, 2020. Now, what's that mean to us? Well, it's not good, because it means that people have another month to pay, which is good for the people. But if you have delinquency, you just pushed another month off the ability to collect on delinquency. And we have a lot of delinquency. So you just need to know that it's a good thing for the residents because of the COVID problem, but it's going to hurt our coffers probably, in that time, because it's an extra month that people don't have to pay their second half assessments, or assessments like trash, assessments like weeds. They get to defer it another month. So I want you guys to be notified of that.
But still, they have to pay it, so we'll get.
We'll still have to pay it, but
But we'll get money that it'll be deferred, we'll get a big lump at a certain time.
well, we hope if they pay it.
Yeah, they pay it.
They were, I was on a webinar and they were honestly answering the question of how much higher delinquency will the county see, and they expect about 10 to 15% more delinquency than a year ago. So we'll see how that goes.
And what month did you say again?
The collection's now due on August 14th.
Oh, okay.
Here, I'll give this to you.
So no,
Tracy.
I got that. I was
Okay.
just, because I was thinking that it was something different.
I asked you guys in a work session, and Mike, you said you could help me find a lock for that. That helps all of us for the entry for the employees at Calumet. Jim took care of that. I sent another email to you trustees, and I need your help, and Tracy, I asked you as well. We need to put up, signs and things inside Calumet in the lobby, like where we can post our meetings, our, the phone numbers, just similar to what we have out here. I don't want to spend any money without you guys saying, what do you want to see? Do you want to see a Jefferson Township, logo on the wall? That's our first impression as people come in. Also, we don't have a sign at the front or a sign on the window yet. We need your help with that. So I'm asking help from trustees and fiscal officer on that. And the bigger thing, probably than any, is the mailbox. What kind of mailbox system do you guys want us to get and install it so the residents can start dropping off mail when they need to? It'll be outside. Or we can, get our mail 7 days a week or 6 days a week, whatever. Right now, the Fair Board and the OSU, they just have to drop it in a basket to the open lobby. And that's okay, and they're happy with that. They just come back to me today, because originally they might want to share with a mailbox with us, their own mailboxes, but we would be on the same system. And they come back today and said they're not interested, they'll just stay with a basket sitting out in the lobby. With our checks and sensitive stuff coming from lawyers, you can't just let it sit out in a basket. So I want you guys to think about it. I have a bunch of options back in the office to look at. You guys can research, everybody can get on the internet and look. What mailbox do you guys want us to have there for the building? I don't need an answer tonight.
Is one of your options a mailbox like we have with a locking door in front that you can slide flats in?
Right. And you can go with one that's standalone on a leg. You can mount it on the wall. The county gave us the okay to mount it on the wall. It's whatever you guys want. Some communities, like you've seen it where they have the water bill and they come along, they drive up in their car and throw it in like a mailbox. There's so many options, but also there's a price for every option. And we're trying to save money, but I know, Mr. Mann, you've said just having the open big black mailbox out here has concerned you over the years because mail's dropped off and you don't know if somebody could actually come up and take it. And we need to protect our mail. So just please give me your ideas or get with me, come see me. Let's get this done because our mail's starting to come over there. Because thanks to Tracy, she filled out all the postal stuff. So it's now being delivered over there. One other thing, part of the mail, we have Adrian coming here once a day around lunchtime, gives her a chance to get out and get a fresh air, but she's making a mail route. So if there's things that they need for the fire department, they'll bring it over here and they'll pick up the fire department stuff and bring it back over there. So for now, that's what we're doing to get shuttling of information back and forth that can't be sent electronically. So that's all I have for your report tonight. Thank you for letting me talk tonight. Thank you.
Okay, you're up again, administrative department.
So you just did that.
You just did that?
I just did a little bit of everything.
Oh, great, fantastic.
So we're
Okay,
done.
so we're done with that.
Don't give him no more time to talk.
Hey, yeah, thank you. Another page on the minutes, right? Yeah. I didn't get any, but I know we didn't drop on paperwork. Anybody, any citizens have any comments they want to speak of? Yay, nay? Okay. So we have trustees' comments and reports. Mr. Mann, you go first.
We've been a little lax because of this virus, but I think some people think this is a plaything. You know, they say you gotta watch the curve that goes up, and if you watch in New York's governor, their curve is up there and it's coming down. And they had, about 303 deaths here yesterday, and it's have came down to those figures. So this thing is real. The other thing I want to tell you about is I was in a store, and a young man, I'd say he may be in his 20s or somewhere along that age group. I've got a basket and I'm waiting. I see him coming and waiting for him to come pay us before I go to the counter. So as he gets right with me, this person calls. Now, I have my mask on, see. But see, you gotta watch people, because they will do some things. And then I went into Kroger's and I got all these packers, they're up there talking among themselves, not wearing a mask. So I talked to them a little bit and told them, you know, they need to have a mask on. So next time I was in there, all those guys had masks on, and they were doing their job. But this here is something that's real. And the other thing to be, if you haven't heard, this gets on your shoes and it stays there. So if you wear your shoes in the house, you're going to get tracked in. So use that information. And I've been putting in about 5 or 6 hours watching all the people, listen to the president, who is, you know, he talks about things. He don't give you the truth. He tries to get you thinking about something else, so that you forget about the election, what's getting ready to come up. Now, they talk about when did this thing start, but I have a grandson that he's down south in college. But anyway, around November, he got real sick. I didn't know that he was ill. He did not call or say. But I told him he probably had this virus at that time. Because all this came in, and you know, everybody comes in Atlanta. That's another place where a lot of people come in. So anyway, he's okay, but I told him he needs to go and check in to find out if he had it. And then they can move that date that they're looking for. That'll move that date back into November. And may solve some problems for us. So, but anyway, that's what I do. I've got a mast here. The chief gave me one, but you know, it tore up. So I had to get me another mast, chief. But thank you. I'll be careful. That's all I have.
Okay, Jim?
It's nice to have a meeting with a lot of daggers being thrown and tension tonight. We got some things done. Thank everybody who helped with the move. You know, Mr. Wolf, you had a lot of logistical challenges with the phones and the computer move, and Chief Lutz, you basically are doing remodeling and updates to the building. Thank you, everybody, for your help and support.
Okay, well, I myself have become a little bit worried about a few things. One, Mr. Steve, 2 meetings ago, you knew about the Calumet Road project. During the meeting, you didn't say anything. Last meeting, you knew about the Calumet move, didn't say anything. And just the way we're spending money. We're buying computers without approval. We're spending money without, and I don't know a lot of things that happen. We're spending money without approval as far as I'm concerned. I'm worried about where we're headed. So, okay, so we're gonna do the executive, somebody wanna do the executive session or not?
I asked that you meet with me for about 10 minutes.
All right, Mr. President, make a motion to go into executive session under ORC 121.22, Section G, 123. We'd like to invite Township Administrator, Mr. Wolf, as a part of the executive session. And the purpose of the executive session is to discuss pending personnel matters.
I second the motion.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor to go to executive session. Can we have a roll call, please?
Trustee McLaughlin,
Yes.
trustee Mann,
Yes.
trustee McGuire.
Yes.
Okay, so we're out of regular meeting and going to executive session at 8:31.
All you guys gotta do is go through the kitchen and shut that first door to you guys, and then the table right there for you guys for your executive session. Steel doors down so nobody can